here at NYU, Manhattan. And advocacy for me is everything. I'm an advocate every day. That's what I do. And I love it. I have a passion for people. I love people, and when people are in need, when they feel like they don't have a voice and they are reaching for someone who has the courage to just speak up for them, that's something that I do every day. So I'm just in heaven. So again, I thank you all for joining me in such efforts. I will get started by giving you an introduction to Denim Day NYC. It is a coalition of survivors, advocates, community organizations, city council members, and city agencies working together to raise awareness about sexual assaults. Denim Day NYC hosts events throughout the year all around New York City to promote awareness about sexual assault and connect New Yorkers to resources. Since 2010, Denim Day NYC has hosted a rally and a press conference in April during Sexual Assault Awareness Month to unite New Yorkers around the issues surrounding sexual assault and show solidarity to survivors. I will now start the program by inviting our guests to come up and speak on the program. First, we have Brooklyn Borough Deputy President Diana Reyna. She is one of the first council members and a huge supporter of Denim Day, so we're very, very happy to have her here this morning. She looks radiant.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
This is the sisterhood of joining, banding together, making sure that we send a loud and clear message. My name is Diana Reyna, and I'm the Deputy Brooklyn Borough President. It is an honor to serve you alongside Borough President Eric L. Adams, who has been a staunch advocate in raising awareness, not just on Sexual Violence Awareness Month, but every day of the month, all year long, making sure that we're sending a clear message across our borough. No one woman feels the burden of what is harassment, sexual assault. When one is assaulted, all of us are assaulted. That is why we are the Sisterhood of Jeans today. I ask our young ladies to come and join me up here. Fill this background with jeans. Come, don't be afraid. Stepping out of the shadow is the first step. It is difficult for women to report these types of assaults, harassment. And every day we hear of stories, we see on the news. We don't know where to get help, or perhaps we just feel helpless. And reaching out is a very important first step. And so we are stepping out for every woman here. Sexual violence is a major public health issue. 1 in 5 women, 18.3% in the United States, have been raped at some time in their life. 1 in 71 men, 1.4% in the United States, have been raped at some time in their lives. Sexual assault is something that reaches across. It doesn't discriminate. Nearly 1 in 2 women, 44.6%, experience sexual violence, victimized other than rape at some point in their life. 1 in 5 men, 22.2%, experience sexual violence, victimization, other than rape at some point in their life. The statistics go on and on. Dating violence is at an all-time high. And we must continue to put the resources, have these chats amongst women, making sure that they are not judged, that we are comfortable wearing jeans and it is not a call to be harassed or assaulted, that we can wear lipstick and not welcome unwelcomed, unwanted gestures, that we are strong when we wear jeans, not weak and meek, that we are women who demand and command respect. Today, we are raising awareness, wearing our jeans proudly, understanding that we walk hand in hand, representing every woman globally. Sexual violence happens at least as often, if not more often, to LGBTQ community as to non-LGBTQ. Transgender people, in particular, may experience at a higher level of intimate partners and sexual violence. In approximately 1 in 11 male-identified LGBT people will experience sexual violence during his lifetime. Yet male sexual violence survivors frequently do not seek services, as sexual violence is rarely discussed and highly stigmatized. Place no judgment. My jeans, my body. My jeans, my body. We want to protect everyone from any type of violence. Sexual assault does not discriminate, and today we stand proud to send that message across the globe from right here, Brooklyn, as the borough president says, the center of the universe. I'd like to thank our partners, in particular, Martha Camber, CEO of the YWCA in Brooklyn, the only one left, YWCA, in the city and the nation, right? Not the nation?
We're the only one with a building.
Right, okay. The only one with the building. So we stand firm as women protecting the YWCA. I want to thank Monica Watson, founder and CEO of Beauty for Freedom. These are just a few of our partners celebrating, making sure that we are standing with survivors, raising prevention, making sure awareness is at the forefront of how we're going to deal with sexual assault. And let us not forget that cruel day in court where a rape victim was accused of being at fault by a judge because she was wearing jeans. Perhaps she deserved it. Perhaps she was asking for it. There is no place for prejudicial judgment on any bench in the criminal system. And we will not tolerate anything less than a fair and just system for women when it comes to sexual assault of any kind, for any person. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. That was so touching. Oh my gosh. So next we will have remarks from Monica Watson, the founder and CEO for Beauty and Freedom. Beauty and Freedom is an innovative, sustainable nonprofit platform to streamline donations into charitable foundations battling against human trafficking, and so necessary. So we welcome Ms. Monica Watson.
Thank you so much for having us. We feel so blessed to be here, and we want to thank the Denim Day NYC committee. We want to thank all of the organizations that are here, taking this walk, making a stand, letting it be known, my body, my jeans, my choice is the only way to go. So I want to thank Rick so much. He's been instrumental in, building this amazing partnership that we have. And we created a campaign this year. You can see the campaign on the Denim Day NYC website that is basically focusing on stories of survivors. And I also wanted to introduce our sister organization, Crime Victim Survivors Foundation. They came all the way from Houston, Texas, to be here to support Denim Day. And I'm just gonna let them speak for a moment. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Lisa Davis Breedlove, and this is my brother Keith. And like Monica said, we are from Texas, and we came down here to support BK Style and Beauty for Freedom, and also to get the word out about our foundation. which is called Crime Victim Survivors. 25 years ago in August, we lost my mom, my sister, my 2 kids, and my brother's 2 kids. And we didn't have the resources available to us to get help as far as counseling. When the services were out there, we just weren't informed about them. And so we're here to promote awareness for our foundation. Thank you for having us.
Again, my name's Keith, and it is amazing to be here today. We did fly all the way in from Houston. I actually have 3 daughters, and just the speech that I heard earlier was so motivating and moving. It gives me a whole nother outlook on wearing jeans from here on out. And Denim Day, what an amazing event. Like my sister said, we lost 6 members of our family in one night. 2 of them were my children, 2 were her children. One of the children at the house was murdered by his own father that night. So we want to also, you know, like she said earlier, violence, period, is something that we have to be aware of and also fight against. And so Crime Victim Survivors wants to partner with other organizations so that we can get awareness out about violence in general. Thank you.
I just need to make one correction, thank you. Her name is Monica Watkins. It's my error on the paper. Watkins. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. That was so awesome, and we also want to give one more round of applause for the Houston Crime Victim Survivors. Please support them online. Thank you for coming. We're so happy to have you. So next we have the CEO of the YWCA Brooklyn, which is this agency is the largest and oldest social organization in the United States. Awesome. Come, tell us more.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I am so thrilled to be here and to see such a great turnout. Thank you all so much for coming. And for the speakers, Monica, and the folks from Texas, and Diana. It's very hard to follow Diana Reina anywhere because she's such a dynamic speaker. As we just said, we are the YWCA Brooklyn. We're the largest and oldest organization serving women and girls in Brooklyn. We were founded in 1888, so it gives you a sense of how old we really are. I'm not that old, though, just to we are on a mission to end violence against women. We're the only YWCA representing New York City's most populous borough. We have housing for 300 women who are survivors of gender-based violence. And this gives them an opportunity to live in a safe, affordable, permanent place while they put their lives back together and heal from their experience. Not having a stable home after you've been victimized is really hard. And a lot of the women come to us right directly from abusive relationships. They're in relationships where there's intimate partner violence, and they need a safe, permanent, affordable place to stay. So we've become that haven, which we're really proud of. We also provide supportive services. I do have a loud voice, but it's not that loud. We provide supportive services to promote healing for survivors and community education and advocacy to prevent sexual violence. As Diana said before me, over 1 million women are raped in this country every year, and another 6.7 million women suffer some other form of sexual violence each year in this country. 1 in 5 women is raped in this country in her lifetime, and 91% of victims of rape and sexual assault are women. Close to 30% of women in the military are raped, mostly by other military personnel. And 1 in 10 women is raped by her spouse or intimate partner. And that's something we're going to talk about a little bit later in the program today. But an area where people say, well, if it's your husband, it wasn't really rape. It's something we need to bring more attention to as well. Up to 50% of transgender people are sexually assaulted, and over 90% of women in prison were sexually assaulted or abused, sexually abused as children. Over 90%. So we're looking at an abuse to prison pipeline, and that's another issue we really need to start talking about. 97% of rapists are never brought to justice, and tens of thousands of rape kits sit in police stations all across this country, gathering dust, while serial rapists are free to continue to assault new victims. In New York State, we passed a law that rape kits cannot sit for years in police stations, and actually I think Texas is one of the worst states for the length of time that it takes to process rape kits. It's time for all concerned people to work together to end sexual violence in this country. It's time to educate our boys to respect women and to teach our girls how to stand up for themselves. It's time to demand that the media, music industry, sports teams, fraternities, and popular culture stop glorifying violence against women and stop objectifying our bodies. I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, who is the program coordinator for education and outreach at the Violence Intervention Program. And she's going to talk a little bit more about her personal experiences of working with rape survivors. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak this morning. Please join me in welcoming Rosillo. Do I have your last name? What's your last name? Rosillo Garcia.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. We actually had one of our survivors who was going to talk about her story, but she got cold feet. The reason being is because rape is the only crime that needs to be proven to this day. And oftentimes, rape victims, if they are in a relationship in marriage, believe that being raped is part of that relationship. And unfortunately, we need to educate the community as well as our survivors, my body, my choice, regardless of whether you're married or not. Maria's story basically is a cyclical issue of domestic violence and gender violence, as well as sexual assault and rape. She grew up seeing this from her grandmother, her mother, and thought that it was normal for her to continue to be in a relationship where she was constantly raped, attacked, and belittled by her husband. The moment that she decided to step away from that relationship, she paid a really high price, which was being ostracized and isolated by her family and her children. To this day, she's unable to talk to her children and be around her grandchildren. Because in our culture, especially in the Latino community, the African American community, we believe that marriage is for life, regardless of what happens. Oftentimes, we also see that the victims and or survivors of domestic violence that we speak to and service at the Violence Intervention Program, 8 out of 10 of those people, and I'm gonna say this again, 8 out of 10 of them are survivors of domestic violence as well as sexual assault. And we don't know this until we start working with these survivors. Our job is to empower and ensure that we're educating the community. We're not invisible. Whatever we wear and or decide to do with our body, it's our choice. I'm gonna say this in Spanish now for those of that are listening at home. La historia de María. María es una de las sobrevivientes del programa de Violence Intervention Program. Es una historia muy a menudo que conocemos, donde la violencia doméstica y también la violencia sexual es algo que nuestras comunidades siempre esconden o estamos escondiendo porque es algo cultural, es algo que supuestamente es normal. Pasa entre familias, es algo cíclico. María es víctima de acoso sexual y violación. Pero como muchas de nuestras mujeres, esto pasó en su matrimonio, ella no pensó que fue víctima. Y porque encima de todo eso, su familia viene trayendo esto de hace 2 o 3 generaciones. Su abuela, su mamá y ella también son víctimas de acoso sexual y violación. El momento que María decidió irse y dejar esta relación fue un momento bien duro porque sus hijos la sacaron de su vida. Todavía han pasado años y no quieren hablar con ella. Ella porque decidió salir de este problema, de seguir siendo abusada, no solo emocional, física, mental, pero también sexualmente por su esposo, hasta el sol de hoy no puede ver a sus nietos ni a sus hijos y vive una vida sola, porque no es una cosa que solo pasa en la familia. Para nosotros los latinos, los afroamericanos, es algo cultural, donde se dice que el matrimonio es para toda la vida, aunque nuestra vida está en peligro. Entonces, por eso estamos aquí tratando de ayudar y enseñar a la comunidad. Another thing, Violence Intervention Program has a hotline that's open and operated, the only one in the city, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And regardless of where the survivor is coming from, we will help them. Our number is 1-800-664-5880. So please, if you know someone that's going through any type of gender violence, feel free to provide the information. Thank you. El programa de nosotros de violencia, Violence Intervention Program, tiene una línea abierta 24/7. La línea está operada por una persona, es decir, cuando usted llame no le va a responder una máquina. Puede llamar, no importa de dónde venga, cuál sea su problema de género que tiene o si tiene papeles. El número telefónico es 1-800-664-5880. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Ms. Garcia. I appreciate you doing that in English and in Spanish, because regardless of whether you speak Italian, Hindi, Korean, Bengali, English, or Arabic, you matter and you're not invisible. So you're definitely welcome to speak out and support anyone that you know that may be going through anything, because it takes a collective to heal. So thank you for that. Next we have testimonial speech by Maria Barbara Lopez.
So I think Lucia was speaking for Maria.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gary is here.
Oh, hey, so we have entertainment and we have testimonials coming up. Next would be from Gary Logan, who is a male survivor. I saw Gary earlier, got a chance to meet him. Briefly.
I want to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness is key. It's most certainly for the person. It's not for the person that you're actually forgiving, but it is for yourself. Knowing that something is not your fault or something to harbor on your own or take personally within helps you grow a lot faster and quicker within life. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
You're doing really well. Yes, you are.
Doing really well. Those were excellent choices of words in the beginning. Yep. Keep it going.
Once you learn how to forgive, you never have to relive these things in your mind. You can just go back to living a normal life. It's not necessarily about reliving such things. I grew up in a very abusive household. I had abusive parents, and they were also abused by other people who really they thought cared for them. This turned out to not be the case, never is, when it comes to those who actually do love you. And love is key. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I believe that took so much courage. It took so much courage that I felt it go through my chest and out through my back. And I just want to say, Gary, for those moments that you stood up here and allowed yourself to speak out for whoever knows, however many people that are going through the same thing, thank you so much. Can I have one more applause from Gary? So next we will have a song by Quinye. Applause for Quinye.
Good morning. Good morning. I am so happy to be here. I bring you all greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. Jerlyn called me last night and asked me to do this, and I was so excited because there are so many people very close to me who have been victims of sexual assault through family members. So I got up this morning and I made sure I had to be here. So if you know this song, now don't be shy, okay? I see everyone willing and eager to sing along, so. It must have been cold there in my shadows to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, and you always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, and you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name, a beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. And it may have appeared to go unnoticed. No, but I've always held you in my heart. And I want you to know, I know the truth, that I would be nothing without you. Have I ever told you you're my hero? Yeah, you're everything I wish I could be, and I could fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Quinye. That was gorgeous. So we're concluding. We want to invite you all to take a picture in front of our foundation, the organization banner. Make sure you do that. Make sure you hashtag Denim Day NYC, BK Style Foundation. After this, we're going to take our walk. And we also want to invite you to join us at Rocco's Tacos from 1 to 4. The address is 339 Adams Street in Brooklyn. It's a buzzing Mexican hotspot. I also want to thank Rick Davey for putting this all together. So, let's take this picture. Yay. Thank you all for coming.
I'd like to ask everyone wearing your denim to come up front.